I'm here in Florence this morning with Alexandra Korey of arttrav.com. Alexandra, can you tell us a bit about your travel site blog?
I would love to. So arttrav.com is a Italy travel, art, and lifestyle blog. I've been living here in Florence for 10 years and started writing this blog 5 years ago. I've now put my name on it since this summer. I've really worked hard to make it look like a professional magazine and to give you more professional information about all these topics. I am a professor of art history, and so I enjoy taking you to see beautiful sites. As this morning, for example, Karen and I went to Palazzo d'Avanzati, which is this door we see right behind us. I guess that's all I can tell you for now, but please do visit.
So, do you write things so that maybe somebody like me who doesn't know too much about art history can still understand what you're writing about, basically?
Exactly.
It's not really for people who have an in-depth knowledge. It's people who come to Florence who want to be able to appreciate things a bit more.
Exactly.
Is that how you would explain it?
That's the joy of having a training as an art history professor or any really form of teacher, is that I write with my students in mind as an audience. I'm thinking of the university student who doesn't yet have an exposure to art history, and that could also be simply the interested traveler who wants just a little bit more than what you find in a traditional guidebook. I like to contextualize the material both in terms of social context and also the rest of art history. So what you would get from ArtTrav tends to be more like a university seminar, and I often use, in fact, my notes from teaching in what I write. So it's a different level.
And is it just about Florence you write, or all of Tuscany?
I write about Florence a lot because I'm here.
Yes,
so,
you're on the ground
there's
here.
There's events and I participate in them and then I write about them. But Tuscany certainly for the same reason, and that it's in my range. I also do try to write about Rome. There are sections on Rome on ArtTrav as well.
But the main focus is on Florence.
Mostly Florence and Tuscany.
So, although it doesn't exactly fit in with the way I would advocate travelling, if somebody was just in Florence for a day, a couple of days, what would you say they should concentrate on? Do you think they should maybe just concentrate on doing 2 or 3 things in depth rather than trying to whiz around everything and maybe not really getting into anything, which you're tempted to do if you've only got a short time and you've done a lot but not really seen much that you can retain because it's just a kind of a blur in your mind?
You are clearly a seasoned traveler. I mean, that's exactly, I would say, if you're here for one day, don't go to the Uffizi. Number 1 tip.
But one tip like
this.
Tip,
because the Uffizi will suck all your energy out of you. It takes 3.5 hours to get through there. Certainly, wait till the scooters go by.
The street noise.
Certainly, I would recommend walking around. It helps if the weather's good, but try to absorb the streets, the layout of the city, deke into little churches that you see, and then set aside a specific time, maybe a morning visit to 1 museum per day, and then have fun the rest of the time.
And do you have any tips for things people could see beyond the usual tourist attractions? Maybe one place you can think of that's, of course, after it's been on the blog, you've recommended it'll become a top tourist attraction, but at the moment, something that's a slightly off the beaten track.
Yes, there are a lot, although
but could you find them if you were a tourist?
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, I consider where we went this morning, Palazzo d'Avanzati, to be one of those lesser known items, although now they have just opened it up as a museum, so now we have to pay and now there's more and more people. But it's certainly one of those things that's not that well known. Number of small churches. The Church of Santa Trinita, which is still free to go into, is just down the street from here and has a beautiful fresco by Ghirlandaio. You have to put a coin in to see it with the light. And that is something that you can go in and just sit quietly and enjoy.
And is that the church open all hours?
Santa Trinita is it's a 15th century. I mean, it's an earlier church, but it has 15th century paintings in it.
Oh well, thanks very much for talking to us, Alexandra, and thanks for showing me around Florence. It's good to see something with an expert instead of wandering around as an initiated.
Thank you, it's my pleasure.